first awards tonight go to the Agency Volunteers of the Year. These people are the backbone of our organization. Those who work diligently behind the scenes and work not for the recognition, but for their love of our mission. When your name is called, please come up to the left side of the stage to retrieve your award.
The Jewish Federation of Omaha is the hub of Jewish communal life in the city. Our family of agencies represent a broad range of services for people at every life stage, and the Federation provides the structure, the organization, and the funding to make all this possible under one roof. For our 2021 Volunteer of the Year, the Federation has selected Jess Cohn.
Jess was one of the four campaign chairs for the 2022 annual campaign. The Federation is deeply grateful for her expertise and experience in event planning. In June 2021, veteran staff members retired from the campaign team, and the community event was set for September 2021. Due to COVID, it was necessary for the new staff to plan an outdoor event. Jess sprang into action, measured the parking lot, managed the tent companies, and led the staff in creating an amazing atmosphere. Then, one day before the event, lightning showed up in the forecast. Everything had to be moved indoors with COVID measures still in place. Jess managed to create a fun party environment in the new space within 24 hours. After a whirlwind of changing dynamics, she wrote personal thank you notes to both donors and volunteers. On this, as on many other occasions, Jess showed herself to be a true leader. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The Jewish Community Relations Council, under the leadership of Sharon Brodkey, is a new agency of the Jewish Federation, formerly partnered as a dual agency with the ADL. Though the ADL and JFO have decided to decouple these agencies, their partnership remains strong and they will continue to collaborate in the future. The JCRC will form vital partnerships across the wider Omaha community to create a culture of shared interest and advocate on behalf of the Jewish community and other marginalized groups. For their 2021 Volunteers of the Year, the JCRC has selected the ADL-CRC 70th Anniversary Event Committee, which includes Ellie Batt, Jill Belmont, Dana Gonzales, Geordi Gonzales, and Zoe Riekes.
On September 19, 2021, 125 community members gathered for an in-person, outdoor, COVID-safe event to recognize the critical work of the ADL-CRC in Omaha for the past 70 years. ADL-CRC 70 Strong was originally slated for 2020, but was derailed by the pandemic. An enthusiastic committee of lay leaders planned and beautifully executed an amazing event, one of the first in-person celebrations on campus since the pandemic began. Knowing that a pivot to a virtual program was possible, committee members had to create a contingency plan, essentially planning two events simultaneously. During a stressful time, the committee focused on uniting and engaging the community. They handled most of the logistics, including everything from naming the event and creating a logo to producing a program and invitation, as well as publicity and planning the menu. ADL-CRC 70 Strong was a tremendous success because of the work and passion of the event committee. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
The Institute for Holocaust Education, under the leadership of Scott Litkey, is Nebraska's resource for teachers, students, and the public to learn about the history of the Holocaust and what it means today. This year, the IHE's programs reached 250 teachers, over 9,000 students, and 2,500 additional community members. IHE's Volunteer of the Year is Sydney Tetrault.
Sydney was an early member of the Nebraska Historical Nebraska Holocaust Education Consortium. She taught lessons of the Holocaust to her students in the Lincoln Public Schools. Sydney contributed to the planning and presentation of lessons at our annual Holocaust education conferences for teachers. She often helped with IHE and information tables at conferences such as the Plum Creek Literacy Festival at Concordia University in Seward, Nebraska. She is also one of the most dedicated volunteers in our SAC Museum Search for Humanity program. Sydney has a passion for teaching lessons of the Holocaust and can always be counted on to be an enthusiastic participant in any assignment she takes on. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Jewish Community Center, under the leadership of Mark Martin, has been the center of Jewish activity since it opened its doors in 1925. Its programs include fitness and wellness, sports and recreation, aquatics, dance, arts and culture, early childhood education, camps, and additional programs that serve children, teens, and families. The JCC's Volunteer of the Year is Shane Cohn.
Together with his wife Jess and Iris and Marty Riekes, Shane Cohn co-chaired this year's annual campaign. Shane was active in this role, both soliciting and thanking donors for the annual campaign pledges and helping to plan the community event. Shane's genuine enjoyment for engaging with the community is a constant, and he has enthusiasm and passion for everything Jewish. The Cohns regularly host Shabbat dinners at their house, and they serve the community with passion and joy. Shane is also the incoming president for the Jewish Community Center's Board of Directors. Congratulations. Thank you.
Every week, the Jewish press, under the leadership of Annetta Van de Kamp-Wright, brings local news to over 2,600 Omaha metro households and over 250 nationwide. Their digital issue is read the world over in places from South Korea to Brazil. The press marked its centennial in 2020. Digital issues dating back to the early 1950s are available online. Tonight, the press is honoring its Volunteer of the Year, Andi Goldstein.
Andi is a dedicated proofreader for the Jewish press. When the pandemic hit and our building shut down, making it impossible to get the physical proofs to our volunteers, Andi was able to pivot and do her proofing electronically, which is not an easy task. Andi knows the Omaha Jewish community well and is a fantastic ambassador for the Jewish press. The press also appreciates her husband, Donald, who acts as Andi's courier, picking up and dropping off proofs. Congratulations.
The Rose Blumkin Jewish Home, under the leadership of Chris Olvin, is a 5-star skilled nursing care provider with a stellar reputation for offering exceptional care, short-term rehabilitation, and commitment to the mission of caring for our Jewish community elders. The Rose Blumkin Jewish Home has chosen Patricia Mark as its Volunteer of the Year.
Trish has been volunteering with RBJH since 2018. She regularly visits with residents and through long conversations about anything and everything has formed great friendships. Trish has a lovely, calm personality and is a great listener. She has a patient nature and shows empathy and kindness. Trish helped with Saturday service in the RBJH chapel by assisting residents and the service leaders. As soon as she heard that the home needed help with the resident visitation schedule and visitor antigen testing due to COVID, she was the first to reach out to help. Trish takes pride in her duties and can be depended on when needed. Congratulations.